We are back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Just wait until y'all you get a load of the guest today. A brother of mine. There he is with them shores.
Hey.
My brother. What's happening, dude?
Nada. How you doing?
Man, I'm alive.
And what else is there?
What else is there, man?
Yeah. Well, how's it coming through on your end?
You sound fantastic, man. Like this brings joy to me. Joy. Joy.
Good.
How do I sound?
Perfect. Never
Per-
better.
Perfect.
Perfect.
You gotta have the Street Fighter perfect.
Yeah, man. Pleasure to be spending Saturday afternoon speaking with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to those listening, this is my brother Deedon, motherfucking Donovan. No relation to Ray, Mickey, Bunchy, none of those fucks.
No, in fact, I've never even seen the show. How is
He's
it?
he's a
I hear.
he's a very decent Donovan. It's my favorite Donovan. The
Like
show
that, man.
the show was it was cool for the first two seasons, I want to say. Shark jumped.
Hmm.
They ran out of shit. Like they even included Ian McShane. You know Ian McShane's dope from what Deadwood,
Yeah, he's great.
things like that. He's fantastic. Same guy and everything. He's just Ian McShane. He couldn't help it. Couldn't save it.
No.
Like they threw who did they slather in there like some unnecessary additional barbecue sauce? Who was it? Katie Holmes,
For real?
a love interest.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
It was
see.
good to see her. I was like, oh shit, she's alive. That's what's up.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen her in 15 years.
It's been about 15 years, man. I haven't seen her
From
since.
Batman Begins.
Oh, she was in that. See,
Yeah.
see what I'm talking about? I just remember what was she in? Seven Tree Hill or some shit like that.
Eight Tree Hill.
Oh,
Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek. Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Okay, because there was a batch of those shows, like One Tree Hill. Then there was
Yeah.
some old.
It was targeted at a black audience. They missed the mark.
Completely. I was like, I'm going to go back to Fresh Prince now. I'm going to go back to Martin now.
Mm-hmm.
In like in Living Color, Rock. You remember Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Charles S. Dutton.
Mm-hmm.
That show was heavy,
Yeah.
but I didn't get to appreciate that heft and like what it was really about until now.
Where he man, he's a strong presence. Where's he been?
You know what,
Is he
man?
still around?
That's how your theater people are. Like theater. Like Charles S. Dutton is Shakespearean type. Like he's a theater guy. And I think he gets a lot of fulfillment out of that. Plus, I mean, he was the lead in the 90s in a show, like a hit TV show, The Rock. He might be eating off of that too, or selling cars at a used car dealership. But I think that because he would have cameo roles and, Low Down Dirty Shame,
Hmm.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could be making it up, but I fact check, but I think he did some prison time or something and became an actor once he got out, if I'm
Really?
not mistaken. Yeah.
Hey, pull it up for us, Jamie.
Pull that shit up.
Someday. Pull that shit up, Jamie.
I could be making that up though.
Hey, we could be making up a lot of shit. In fact, we will.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Mm-hmm.
that that's what's so fun about the world of podcasting. Say we
Yeah,
will.
man. So this is episode 22, if I'm not mistaken.
Brother, that's why I love you. I think so. Yeah, I think it's episode 22. You know,
Stacking
you
them up.
you know, you can scrap 7 of those, something like that. But hey, Hey, I'm sure that's what anybody, because I've started like a lot of people's like podcasts from the jump, and I'm like, yeah, they've grown so much, and I'm sure that they look back and they're like, I'm not deleting that shit. Like that was me then.
Right, right.
We were all
Well,
terrible in the beginning.
you referenced Joe Rogan. You ever see his first episode?
I haven't seen the first one. No, like they're
Yeah,
chilling
dog shit.
in the attic or something like that.
Basically, he's
Him
like,
and Red Band,
right, right. They're
right?
smashed together on the same
They're
laptop,
all
and like,
squished.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
they were playing with some type of old school filters or something. There's like bubbles all over the screen. Like it looks heinous, but look at him now.
Look at him now. Like it goes back to it's one of my favorite quotes, man, of anybody really, much less a rapper. But Currency has this. It was just simple. It was quick. If I wouldn't have been that, then I wouldn't be this.
Mm, mm-hmm.
It says everything.
That's your boy, Currency.
That's my brother right there.
He gets
Yeah,
a plug. He gets a plug every episode, doesn't
I think so.
he?
Yeah, I mean, when you hear this someday, Spitter Andretti, just I really do champion you, bro. I really do champion you.
Yeah, man.
I just like to show love
I
and
remember
respect.
I remember Jet Life. What what year is that? 2011,
That
10?
sounds solid.
When that
Yeah.
shit? Yeah.
Back when it was Spitter, young Roddy, who's
Mm.
grown up now, so he's Roddy from the plains, 31st. Let's see, the Kenner Loop. So yeah, Roddy, you had trademarked the skydiver,
Mm.
criminally underrated. No one even knows he exists.
Nah.
But man,
Well, me either.
I'm gonna
So
send you some of his solo projects. It's gonna be like, bro, this is the flyest shit ever.
okay.
Straight up, it's so fun to listen to, sonically pleasing. Like that's the whole Jet Life thing. Is
Yeah.
they pay close attention to these sonic environments, just how they construct music. They don't just make songs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, this is all built from the ground up. We had to start with the chassis.
Yeah.
From there,
Definitely a unique sound
hmm
for
then you
sure.
have Smoke Dizza.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, criminally underrated out of Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many cats that you would mention from New York that rap. He might be the godfather of it. Like, if you just listen to how confidently he spits, like he's just one of the most confident rappers I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just comes through the speakers. You're like, damn man, he's just unstoppable and he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Something to be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I recognize after listening to your last episode there that I've fallen all the way off. Like I am out of touch. I don't know who anybody is, uh, especially all these young cats and stuff. It just the sound, the at least the mainstream sound anyway, is of no interest to me. And I don't know, man. I need an education. You need to start sending me stuff again.
I am sorry, sir. I will get back on that.
Yeah.
Your stat. Um, Now a lot of this is just going to come from my musical universe in general. It might not even be ultra current. Don't need to be. It just needs to be unknown to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like that's where
which
it
I
is.
which I guarantee it will be.
Straight up, man. Um, there's some current shit too that even people who are current have no idea exists, and that's where I live. I love to live there. I don't like hearing shit that I've heard or shit that like. I'm like, well, I can't play this. Like I'm always one. I don't know if you noticed this. Gone are the days of people blasting music like at all. Like, what are people doing? It's quiet as fuck in Los Angeles. Is that an LA thing?
Oh,
Like
you must
people
not live in my neighborhood then.
people that have their earbuds in and everything. Like I don't hear shit. It's crazy. I'll be the only one
I saw a
blasting
guy
my shit
saw a guy walking by the other day with a laptop on his shoulder. That
like
was
a
his
boom box.
that was his ghetto blaster right there, his laptop, and he was
Oh
bumping it.
no.
Yeah, man.
What?
But I hear it all day. Cars rolling through, bumping it. You got to move over to North Hollywood. You get back into that.
Shit, I just moved from over there A few years ago, I was over at the Studio City.
Now you're in the mean streets of Burbank.
Yo, these streets are so nice,
It's
so friendly and
manicured.
manicured, man. Ain't no parking meters to be seen or found, no parking enforcement people. It's Wisconsin.
Right.
It is
Right.
more American flags and police officers per capita than you've ever seen. I feel safe.
Yeah, it's strange not seeing the meter maids out here. It's
Isn't it?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they could kick fucking rocks. There's no need for that gig.
No.
There's no
No.
need to need that gig either. There's so many things that you can do. I think that that's more so indicative of what kind of human being the motherfucker is that applies for that job. Because you could do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else. You don't have to ruin people's days for a living. You
Hey,
don't have to do that.
I had one pleasant interaction with a meter maid rolled up behind me. It was a street sweeping day.
Mm.
And I was thrown out. I was like 15 minutes late. I was like, ah shit. I didn't even throw pants on. I just threw shoes on to get out the house so I could move my truck. And he was already behind me and he was staring at me. I see that you know you shouldn't be here. Yes. Are you going to move right now? Yes. Okay. I will not give you a ticket. Don't do this again. Hey, all right, man. I guess he didn't sound so pleasant in my story, but
Not the way you said it.
the fact that he didn't give me a ticket was a redeeming quality.
You know, one of their go-tos. Oh,
Hmm.
oh, I'm sorry, sir. Sorry. I mean, if even if I wanted to, I mean, there's nothing I can do now. The receipt's been printed. It's already been sent up
Right,
to
right,
Cyberdyne.
right,
Um, you know, Cyberdyne Corp, and it's up there in the cloud now, and there's no way that we can possibly not ruin your day now. I'm sorry, it's
right.
just been too late, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I've been hit with that shit too. Like
I'm,
they already scanned your license before they walked out of the car.
oh yeah,
So
everything in our society has a
too
cancel
late.
button.
Right,
There's not a fucking thing that can't be canceled.
right. But Johnny wants to go back to the office and say, "Hey, I broke a new record today.
See,
88 tickets."
that's what's fucked up, right? Is when you incentivize this piracy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's make it sweet for you. What they do is they separate you from the human you used to be, and they turn you into this motherfucking just a revenue collector. It's just for the, it's just for that slush fund. You don't
Sure.
need my rectangular deposit because the shape of the terrain ain't changing. It's the same rectangle it's always been. I need it for
Right.
X amount of time. Then when I return, I'm gonna leave this rectangle. Someone else is gonna park their shit inside of this rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
But you giving people tickets for like slightly parking slightly askew or outside of that rectangle's parameters,
Mm-hmm.
and that be costing some people a day's work.
Yeah, it's egregious. Those
Yeah,
prices are egregious. That's a stretch, man. You want to hit us with like $25 or something like that, but
yeah.
$80 or whatever it is. I've paid at least three of those right outside my house, so it's egregious.
That'll
It's the
break
same the
somebody
same
down.
thing you talk about incentivizing with the cops or with meter maids. Same with cops. I got a texting and driving ticket not too long ago, which
Mm,
I get it. I shouldn't have been texting, but I'm at a stop light. I figure that's the appropriate place to respond to my wife. Uh, but he got me. He got me on a bike there in Burbank.
yo, in Burbank.
Like they're all over the place. Right there on Magnolia by Portos or whatever got me. And he was a nice fella too. I was like, okay, we got a nice little interaction going on. And no, he gave me that fat citation, and that was damn. What was that? That was almost a couple $100 or something. So they
I
get you.
I got nabbed on one of those too, man. I was really doing my best in life too. I was literally working. I was like, hey, officer, I was literally working. And then he was like, yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it'll. affect your your insurance or anything like that. Boo 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 boo.
Right.
Immediately as he was saying it, my shit was going up like do 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 do, and like this shit'll be there for like a year
Mm-hmm.
before your shit drops. I was like, man. But
Mm-hmm.
then I just had to blame myself for that one. For that in particular, it's like, man, you don't even want to look at your lap at all. You don't even want to look down at nothing in Burbank.
No.
No, like
No.
you don't want your eyes to go, yeah, because that's a whoop whoop. They have nothing to do. It's a bunch of Andy Griffiths over here,
Yeah, for sure.
bunch of do-gooder Canadian mountie types. Like like there's just no crime. There's no shit to do.
Yeah, and back when I used to smoke, no smoking in Burbank. Don't even think about it. You think about it, get hit with a ticket.
Really?
Yeah, just in the downtown area.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no smoking anywhere around there. So when I was doing it, I had to like go down the cut, and I felt like I was smoking crack or something, like trying to get it in real quick. Yeah,
Like
looking over my
Pookie
shoulders. Yeah,
in New Jack City.
right, right. Yeah. Hmm.
That's hilarious. Yeah, man, it's so police over here. I never noticed because I've been here for like 2.5 years, something like that now. I didn't notice that I never smelled cigarette smoke
Yeah,
at all
yeah, yeah.
whatsoever.
But
'Cause-
like, it's different. Like the Magnolia portion of Burbank, that like strip that starts going towards North Hollywood, but it's just around the theaters and all those businesses like San Fernando Road or whatever I think it is. But yeah,
Yeah, with the 5911 restaurants.
yeah.
Man, it's kind of neat being able to walk to that stuff
Hmm.
because I'm right there. You just walk down. You've been just
Yeah,
right
you're in a good
there.
spot.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It was I'm trying to figure. I've never heard people blasting music in Studio City. You're right there, and you said so on your street, people be blasting shit.
Yeah, we're right on the border of shit starts to get hairy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a good spot. Our little neighborhood, it's nice, but like you start going the other side of Magnolia north, that's when shit starts to get hairy. We got a liquor store at the end of the street that some funny business goes on every once in a while. Just yesterday, we had a guy drive by. I was vacuuming and listening to a podcast at the same time. So I got, pounded with noise. And a big boom goes off. I was like, what the fuck was that? I sounded like Joe Pesci and My Cousin Vinny when he's out, when he's sleeping in the woods and the owl squawks or whatever.
He goes,
What the fuck was
"The fuck was that?"
that?
That's one of my favorite movies of all time, man.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it at least 92 times.
Oh
But
my gosh.
anyway, I go outside and all the neighbors go outside like, what the hell? And his car alarm's going off. Like, we don't see anything. But there was some dude that was walking his dog, and he informed us that it was just somebody driving by and they threw out like an M80 or something or some big firework. It just kaboom. So we got wild shit always going on over here. It's active, stays active. Music, yeah.
All those Utes.
All those youths.
Sir, what is a
Excuse me.
Ute?
Yeah.
A Ute? Sorry, Your Honor. You.
Yeah, that back and forth between him and the judge throughout is just hilarious.
Oh my gosh. One time he just had it, he just rolls his eyes and slowly pivots and walks back to his seat. He was just fed up with this man.
Yeah, I saw speaking of the neighborhood, I was hanging out with the fellas last night. They came over. We did a little social distancing hangout in the front yard.
How are
But
these men doing? How are they handling things?
they're good. Maintaining.
Yeah.
Maintaining. Yeah, they're doing
Maintaining their shape too, or are they a whole new form and shit?
well.
Like what's going on out
Hey,
here, man?
I'm not going to speak to that.
We gotta stay on the P's and Q's, man. We gotta stay
No, I'm
sharp,
not. I'm
man.
not going to speak to that. But mentally, I'll say they're doing well.
Okay, okay.
Um, Nah, they look good. They look good. But we saw a coyote last night. It's the first time I had seen a coyote in probably like 8 years or something. But he just big, big guy too.
Really?
Starts, yeah, yeah, walking up the street. Like he was just on the other side of the street, but we're like, what the? It was probably midnight or something. He was out looking for cats, I'm sure.
Oh shit, yeah. Any little durable guinea pig size cat size.
But he
I
was
don't know.
good.
A cat might give a fucking coyote the hands, man. Like a dog is. You don't think so?
No, I think a coyote tears
Can,
shit up.
can a coyote outmaneuver a cat though? A dog it can, because
Uh,
dogs, depending on the breed, can be garbage as far as athleticism and just get overwhelmed. And they're not really fleet of foot. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? A
yeah,
dog's a dog, but it's like it'd be stronger than a cat. But a cat is like a ninja.
right,
It's probably
right, yeah,
hard
yeah.
to fuck with a cat.
It's not the same level. Like a French bulldog is not making the majors.
Yeah, he's not making the major leagues like
No,
that. Like that fool's playing for JUCO middle linebacker.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like a
there's
Zach Thomas. Like that's the Zach Thomas of dogs. Like it's super stout, really strong, but it's a bowling ball. You know,
Zach
and
Thomas.
it's got short ass legs, a Mike Allstott neck. You know what I'm saying? They could give two shits about the person walking them for real.
Yeah,
You know, like they got that. You know, they tend to have those kind of attitudes. To me, it's like, you know, I'm on your leash, but you don't necessarily own me. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So you can relax when it comes to the ownership aspects of this whole relationship here. I allow you to live. You
right.
know,
Yeah,
I could just bite your little neck. You know, when you're taking your little nap. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. You know,
but I still think a coyote could snatch up a cat pretty quick. I mean,
by itself.
although these street cats, Kim and I go walking every day. They are uh, they are nimble, fleet of foot, and they're in shape as opposed to our two cats who are, their stomachs are dragging on our floors. They would definitely get snatched up, but I
Man.
don't know. Coyote's part wolf, so
Yeah, it's a baby wolf.
yeah,
Like it's basically all wolf shit. Coyote's the
yeah. I think
nickname for
so.
little ass wolf.
I
I
think
think.
so.
You know what I'm saying? I I don't Snopes to disprove that. Like, well, not exactly. See, it's a derivative of the wolf species. That's a baby ass wolf, man. Look at that motherfucker. Just a tiny
Right,
wolf.
right. Well,
Absolutely.
a derivative of a wolf would still be a wolf, no?
Yeah, it would be a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got another name.
Well, Troy was ready to brawl with it. Should have crossed the street and come into the yard. He was ready to go.
I'm actually not scared of coyotes. I'll punt one
Yeah.
in front of its homies to let them know what it would be should they pull up.
Right,
And
right,
and that's why they chill in the cut. They'll send a scout, you know what I'm
right.
saying, to make sure the region's cool and cleared
Uh
for
huh.
the rest of them to slide. Because that's their attitude. Like, that's their mentality. Like, you got to think of how they move. It's like, oh, bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? They hunt packs. They jump people. They jump dogs. They jump animals. They jump them.
Yeah.
But they'll send a scout out there, act like he hurt. He's like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Flying squirrel will come up like, are you okay, little buddy? And then it's like, are you okay, little buddy? He flips up like nothing happened.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
curtains. It's over with.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but they be chilling out here, man, because I'm at the foot. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like on the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where they live.
Yeah. Yeah. You're on the incline.
Yeah, I'm on the incline, so they just like, you can't be surprised when you see them because they're like, motherfucker, this is my crib.
Yeah.
I'm just walking to the toilet, from I just I woke up in the middle of the night, went to the cupboard, grabbed me a snack, then I went to take a piss before I laid back down. That's all I was doing. I'm just shaped like a coyote.
Mm.
Yeah, they be chilling out here. So when you said 8 years, I was like, man, I see these motherfuckers. I haven't seen them as of late, but people have been saying that they've been more bold in general, just in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
because people have not been outside. Well, not anymore, but I think that
Yeah, there was a time there where all of wildlife started to fill in the holes. Yeah.
It's just like you know, in like movies, man, you see like a plane crash. That like the motherfucker be there for 3 days, but then look like it's been there for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know why that's what nature like seems to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, vines
Mm-hmm.
like just start wrapping up shit. I'm like, it's like it's an interesting kind of intelligence when it comes to like even a house that's been on sale. That lot's been on sale for like a year, maybe 4 months. It looks different on the inside, like Jumanji and shit. Like all kind of shit just moved in because they
Yeah.
assumed people moved out and didn't move in. Like they just know.
Well, wildlife is thriving in shit. What was the nuclear plant that exploded in the Ukraine?
Chernobyl,
Chernobyl. Yeah, that whole area is wildlife's taken hold, man. Healthy animals, fucking deer, they like built up an immunity to the radiation
bro. They probably have street sharks over there. You know them sharks.
and
You,
yeah.
you know them sharks that wear bootcut jeans,
Uh,
Jordache jeans and shit.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's playing on sci-fi right now.
Oh man. Oh, is it? Wow. They had to.
Yeah.
You know, Sci-Fi Channel. Like we're pretty much going down memory lane. Like we have the opportunity to be 11, 7, 9 years old again. Like really, um, with work in between. You know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Freeze
Plus,
frame.
sci-fi is really targeted towards my father. Loves it.
Mm.
Put that on while he's doing busy work or whatever, but looking up every once in a while to see what types of wacky animals are fighting. It's like Sharktopus versus you know
Gerbivore.
Gerbivore. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Yeah,
Gerbivore.
yeah.
It used to be
Hmm.
the funniest battles, and I'm like, damn, they didn't try nothing they learned in film school. They just
No,
slapping this on together, and they're like,
no.
we specialize in camp. We specialize in camp and campiness. And then I wonder if that's how it started, Sci-Fi Channel. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was the modus operandi. Like, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do lowbrow entertainment. Uh, the graphics about to be garbage. It's going to be a very efficient thing that we have going on here as a
Yeah,
studio.
yeah. They probably wanted to monopolize dog shit.
Yeah,
There's enough people where this is valuable.
it's
So,
clearly a lane there, right?
and
Because
and we only have to throw couple $1,000 at this or whatever.
like
Let's
some
give Joe Donut a camera and he'll find a couple buddies and we'll go out there and bang out a feature for $20,000.
$79.
Mm-hmm.
Like that had to be someone in the boardroom if they have a boardroom. It's probably just a multi-purpose room where you have like uh what is it, financial freedom seminars and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in that kind of room, somebody was like, why don't we just there's
Just
clearly a lane for garbage people that like garbage stuff.
yeah,
Just do that.
just a conference room at the Howard Johnson.
Yeah. It's just straight up profit. It's just max prof. You know, your Sharknadoes, there's no need to have sequels to movies like that, but there are.
Yeah, damn, they must be on. I know
17.
there's at least three. Yeah, yeah, they got to at least be on 17 by now for
And like, how
sure.
much worse can we make this? Well, people keep getting worse. So, I mean, there's always a lane. There's always a way. I
Have
think
you have you ever seen one of those?
I can't do that, Dean. Why would I? We only have a finite amount of time on this earth to live. And I can't squander that. I can't just spend that watching shit like that. I never get that back.
That's true.
You
That's
know?
true.
I'll just learn enough about it adjacently, or I'll get a taste of it, watch a clip or two.
Hmm.
That's all I need. That's all anyone needs. That's
Yeah,
all I need.
because Stefan Urkel was in one of those, I think, wasn't he?
My boy Stefan Urkel, probably, man, but it was probably the second when no one was signing on for number one. You know what I'm saying? Like you get the script and you're like,
I
you got
think
to be
they
kidding me.
no, I think
Tara Reid was in the first one.
yeah, right,
And since it
right,
was
right.
dumb successful, in a bizarre way. Like they were like, wow, this was a hit. It was at a time when people were at their lowest and they were vulnerable. Boom. That's how you get
Like,
the success of Tiger King. Is when people are at their lowest and just weak, just weakened. The standards on the floor.
and I think one of the guys from 90210 was in it.
Oh, like
Is
Luke.
in them now.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Luke Perry, but he's gone. He's no
Yeah,
longer with us.
he's long gone.
There, rest in power, kid.
Yeah, he was fantastic in Once Upon a Time there. That little cameo, he was pretty good.
Once upon a time. Oh, was he in the Quentin Tarantino Once Upon a Time?
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking about that Disney shit.
What
You know,
Disney?
there's a whole Disney show. A friend of mine, family friend, Makia Cox, she was one of the stars of that show, if it's still going, Once Upon a Time, where they kind of remixed the fairy tales and it's live action and sort of
Huh.
fantastical. Yeah. It's on like ABC or something like that. Can't recall.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
talking about? Like the Mad
Yeah,
Hatter.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with. I haven't seen it, but yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
hmm You know, I watched a smidge to support her. And then I was like, okay, now back to my shows.
Hmm.
What are you watching now?
6 Feet Under.
Yo, you went back, son.
Yeah, well, we've been doing that.
Oh, that's right. You were
It's
watching
a,
The
it's
Sopranos before that.
yeah, yeah, and it was as good as they said it was.
I'm gonna have to
Uh,
check this out.
yeah, yeah. It's a weird time because there's so much access to so much content that you're just overwhelmed. You're just inundated with stuff from every direction. Um, so you could watch something new every single day. You could never run out of things to watch, but uh, it overwhelms me. So what I do is I revert back to things that I know are probably good
Yeah, that's
or
smart.
that I've heard that's good, and I use it as a time to catch up on things that I never seen. I didn't really grow up with HBO. We didn't have it,
Mm,
so I missed out on a lot of that stuff. The Wire is going to be that's in the queue,
okay.
probably after this.
I grew
So
up
I didn't,
watching that.
yeah, and The Sopranos never saw it, and 6 Feet Under people have talked about it. So, and I'm enjoying it. We're almost done with the first season, and we can burn through these things. We usually do a couple episodes a night, and I like it. I dig it.
6 Feet Under was a part of the same slate of shows that I think. What else was there? Oz.
Yeah, yeah, Kim. That's another one that's in the queue because Kim said that one was really good, but she like vaguely remembers it,
Mm,
remembers that it was good, but fine details.
mm.
She didn't stick with her, so we'll give it another shot.
I'm just trying to stay away from jail at all costs. I'm just like, man, this is Vigo Mortensen. Isn't he in that?
Oh, is he?
I
I don't
think
know.
so. I think so. Yeah, man. I think Vigo Mortensen. Let me look that shit up right now.
Vigo.
Yeah, I
Vigo
think
doesn't
he's a
play well.
damn. Because the only part of Oz that I saw was like him, probably about to rape a dude. I was like, that's his face burned into my memory. That was before Lord of the Rings. So,
Mm,
so he was uncool before he was very cool.
yeah.
You know what
The
I'm saying?
only the only person know that was in it was J.K. Simmons, but I don't know if he was a
Wow.
lead or what, just a minor character or what.
You have Ernie Hudson in this mug too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters there. And you have who else? Yeah, Harry Parinel,
Okay.
the black
Who
dude
is
from.
yeah, yeah. He's terrific and
Hmm
he's always been a really good actor, but what the hell's he been doing lately?
You know what? Christopher Milioni. I don't think he is in this. Harry Parinel was. He started becoming the villains and shit. So,
Really? In what?
man, Sons of Anarchy. He was a
Was he in that?
kingpin. Hell yeah, he had a big ass arc. He was like the rest of the show.
Oh shit! Yeah, Yes, and
Yeah,
spoiler alert, he gets killed.
for
Um,
sure. He had to fucking go.
and then the dude who I didn't really care for kind of assumed his position, more of a stoic guy, and he started working with Jax, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was like,
Cause he was the intermediary between those two,
right, right, right.
right? Cause he was the cooler of he and Perino's character.
Hmm.
He was the cooler of the two. He was the big buff dude in the suit
Yeah.
as well, right?
Hmm.
More stoic,
Yeah.
more wooden, but he was more of a
He
person.
was.
He was less of a sociopath, psychopath than Harry Perino's character was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so Jax is basically off of the strength of the relationship they had built because he was the better version.
Hmm.
Just went into business together, them and Diosa and all that shit.
Yeah. Man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah, he was one of the main cats. I was like, get him out of here.
That an episode, just an all-time episode of television that sticks with me is Jax's boy getting
Oh,
yeah, oh,
you
getting
see how I
clipped.
said that, man? Did you feel the
Yeah.
weight of that? Oh, it just
Yeah.
kaplap on the ground,
That was heavy. That was a heavy
bro.
episode. That one got me choked up.
Man,
Uh, but that it just something about that just obviously the intensity of it, but it felt real, and it felt like you were watching your boy that you had been friends with for however many years at that point. There's no way out of this situation, and we're forced to watch what's going to happen next. That shit was heavy.
that was the power, or that is the power of Ryan Hurst.
Hmm.
Because he makes you give a shit about him no matter what kind of character he's playing, man. Like even in his weird role that he had, because he got to from Ope, he got to branch out into more obscure kind of roles. Now you know that you're in your actor bag and you get to just have fun. You just get paid to really have fun when now you're being offered shit. And I'm sure in his stint with Farmiga, um,
Mm,
you know what I'm talking
mm-mm.
about?
Who's that?
Vera Farmiga, she was in Bates Motel with
Okay.
Freddie Highmore. She was Norma Bates,
Yeah.
Norman Bates' mom.
Yeah.
Um,
What
Ryan
did you?
Hurst had a weird character in there.
Oh, on Bates Motel.
Yeah, Bates Motel,
I've
which was
never.
cool.
She's really great, by the way, but I've
She's
never seen
magnificent.
that. I've never seen that show.
Like Vera Farmiga is one of the most like she's probably one of the dopest actors of our time. Like when it's
Hmm.
said and done, yeah, like she's about to be even her role in like Running Scared with Paul Walker, who killed it. I know how that sounds. Rest in
Yeah.
power, brother. Y'all know what the
Yeah.
fuck I'm talking about here. Um, man, she's super intense.
Hmm.
Like she's just locked in. And then her younger sister, Thaisa Farmiga, her first acting gig for real was on season 3 of American Horror Story, Coven.
Hmm.
And man, it's just in the DNA.
Hmm.
It's just in there. Because it
Yeah.
was like she's been doing it.
It's weird how much they look alike too.
They look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. She looks
Yeah.
like baby Vera.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. She just looks. They look the same, but she just comes off a lot younger, and you would think it's her daughter or something. But
She's
yeah,
way younger.
they're both
Because
terrific.
I
Yeah.
think that when she did American Horror Story Coven, Thaisa, she was probably 16.
Hmm.
And then after that, Vera, she directed her first film. And then in that, she put Thaisa. Because, I mean, at that point, she's like, yeah, you're good. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
is
Yeah,
that a show that you watch, American Horror Story?
used to.
Yeah, I heard that.
It
I
went,
never watched it, but I heard that it took a nosedive.
it went the way it went.
Hmm.
It most certainly did. Freak Show came about, and I was like, I'm going to go this way now.
Mm.
Especially when there's so many shows. Back to your point, when there's so many shows, man, I don't have time to be squandering on shows that I'm just not interested in,
Right.
stories I'm not interested in, tales I'm just not interested in, or if it's the same thing exactly,
Hmm.
but we're just going to shuffle musical chair these people around, the actors around.
Hmm.
Now it's more difficult to suspend my disbelief. That's the problem with anthology. Sometimes if you don't do a completely different kind of tale,
Hmm.
or if what you're trying to say is too on the nose, it's just not even clever. You're like, now I'm being just talked at, not spoken to, not, it's preachy. I'm like, I know what you're doing.
So, from that perspective, then do you like Fargo? Because
I
they
saw
don't reuse any actors, right? Like it's a new story, new characters, new faces each season.
that's a better idea because I probably watched the first one or two episodes of Fargo
Hmm.
with Billy Bob, because that's my boy right there. Like Bad Santa, have you seen that?
I've never seen Bad Santa. Yeah, I've
Go
never
on
seen
and
it.
do yourself a favor, sir. Bad Santa one
like
and
it,
two.
like it's flashed on like TNT. It's one of those movies that's always on TNT
You don't
around
want
the
to watch it
holiday
there.
season or whatever. But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you want Billy Bob to be Billy Bob. It's Billy Bob as Billy Bob can be.
Hmm.
Yeah, you need to
No,
him,
he was good in Fargo for sure. Yeah,
man.
I mean, he seems like he's a wild man. He's not going to disappoint.
Yeah, he's a part of the old guard, like that wildly wild, um, super experienced. I mean life experienced actor who's been through it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just been willing to live his life fully, not giving a flying fuck what industry had to say or where they wanted to put him or place him, and him whining about leading man this, leading man that. He just instead was like, I'm gonna just be undeniably fucking me. You're gonna have to come to me to get me. That's
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
You can't. There is no Billy Bob Thornton type.
Yeah.
If you want someone like that to be on your project, you have to call me. And in fact, call my representatives, have them reach out to me.
Uh-huh.
That's it. One of one.
Yeah, yeah, he's a unique cat for sure. I've never seen Sling Blade either, which is
People always, you haven't seen? No, it's an 80s fucking thing, man.
I was actually waiting for that reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I didn't exist. It's
yeah.
so much that I have seen that I shouldn't have seen. You can forgive me for the lack of having seen all of Sling Blade.
What about this one? You will react. I've never seen The Godfathers.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
accept you as you are.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And I haven't seen all of them. I saw the
Well,
first one.
you're supposed to stop it too, right?
I think, yeah, because three is, I hear, is dog duty. Is you
Mm-hmm.
can do with dog food.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that there's any need to see three.
Yeah.
And as slow as that shit is already, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's a commitment.
That's a commitment.
I think that's why, and certainly now I just don't have the time anymore. So if I'm going to commit to something, uh, it's got to be, and that is worth it. But that's a hell of a, to watch at least the first two. What is that like? 22 hours to get through those two movies,
Yeah.
give or take a couple hours.
Yeah, give or take a couple of fucking hours. You know what I'm saying? 95 hours, you know?
But then, of course, Kim would tell you, I rewatched some of the same stuff. I just beat it to death. Uh, Lord of the Rings or something. Seen that or Braveheart. Braveheart's on. Forget it. I'm locked in.
When you go through more than one sweep of something, though, you figure out more things about what made it work to begin with. Like what got me to want to see it and watch it all the way through the first time. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to figure that out the first time.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many gems, so many jewels, like music, for example, taking that shit into the lab. That's what me and my family call it. We have to, like, we get a project or a song, we got to take that shit into the lab. We have
Mm-hmm.
to analyze it. We got to run tests. You know, there are multiple different kinds of tests: delivery, cadence, the production, the
Mm-hmm.
soundscape, the concept. You know what I'm saying? Is there even any? Is this even music,
Mm-hmm.
or is this just a song? Is this just a compilation of songs that they called an album? Big deal. You
Yeah.
know, so I mean, you got to put the heat in that Bunsen burner right there, and then mix this potion into the Erlenmeyer flask. You got to run some tests to figure out whether or not this shit is legit or not, whether
Yeah.
it's dope or not. You know, because again, you are the king of your time. You
Sure.
know, that's it, the
Sure.
master of your time and the way that you spend that shit. Don't get it back. Can't squander it.
Right.
If it's just not my shit, not not get something a chance. But if I know, it's one of the good things about having a pretty solid filtration system. It's just like, no, I'm not gonna like it. Sometimes before you get to I don't,
Mm-hmm.
that's called efficiency to me. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna like that. Or there's just a few beats that, like a few boxes it checks that it shouldn't have. I'm like, yeah, see, they should have went on and did that, said that shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, because I have shows waiting in the queue that I know are going to
Yeah.
be solid because they did check those boxes or, meet up with a different kind of criterion. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just invest in that art right there.
Yeah.
No disrespect to that, but I can't see it all.
Yeah.
I can't hear it all. I can't see it all.
Yeah.
And that's called taste. Get your taste together.
Wow, and to
Shit.
speak to speak to that, we're on the old HBO run, but back then, what, like the late '90s, early 2000s, it was like HBO had a monopoly on like premium television. Like they weren't missing with any of those shows, from what I
Mhm.
understand. You know,
Hell yeah.
I've only seen a couple, but I'm looking forward to the rest. And so far, 6 Feet Under's been good. But back then, like who else was doing that? Who else could do that? Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody. Like they even had stand-up comedy. So we grew up
Right, right. Nobody was. That's where the specials were.
my weekend was spent on HBO. Like
Yeah.
the whole family sitting there on the lazy boy, um, in Independence, Kentucky. And we were on the lazy boy and we were watching the fights on the weekend and we were watching the stand-up comedy specials on the weekend. Carlin, Rock, whoever it was,
Hmm.
Stephen Wright, we were watching specials. Or we were watching people beat the fuck out of each other.
Hmm.
Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, you name it. All the fights. Those were our plans.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning to the smell of bacon, cheese eggs, pancakes, maybe some Grand's biscuits, the fluffy kind that pop up out of the poof. They kind of spill up out of the canister. Then
Hmm.
you had to clean because they had their music on. So Well Downing was playing or
Hmm.
some Stevie Wonder or some shit. And I'm like, man, we're about to have to clean up. The whole damn house is already clean just to prove to them that we deserve food. But after that, boy, nothing but barbecuing all day. And then, at night, the shows.
Hmm.
Yeah, like that's what it was for. No one else is doing that. Cinemax wasn't doing that. That was for the soft core.
Mm.
That was the highly forbidden Beverly Hills Bordello.
Yeah.
Yeah, you laugh because you're like, I've heard that name
Yeah.
before. Yeah, Beverly Hills Bordello, Real
Yeah.
Sex 19
Yeah.
on HBO. They had all the cutting edge damn
How,
programming.
yeah. How I forget how man, because it's such a weird time. That seems like a lifetime ago. Because even the internet was still in its infancy. It seemed like,
Damn, we might not have even had it for all of that.
but I don't. I remember catching some of those, and it was like, whoa, shoot, this is such why I shouldn't be watching this stuff. But I don't know how I saw any of that because again, we didn't have HBO, so I don't know how I would have even found it. But yeah, I know what I know what you're talking about, man. We
Bro.
didn't have cable until shoot, I was in high school, I guess. and we had the movie channel that we had was Cinemax.
Skinemax.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was interesting. But of course, they weren't doing. They weren't. I don't think Cinemax was. I think it was strictly a movie channel at that time.
Mm.
I don't think they were creating anything or had
Some
any
family
originals.
members, some family members had that hood scrambler box.
Yeah, my buddy had one of those.
Yep. You
Yeah,
see the lines on the
the old
screen.
the
You're
old
like,
black
oh
box.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
the old black box, and you would see. Yeah, man. There was this time I don't know, when you're a young buck coming of age, you do things that you as an adult question. You're like, why did you do that? You knew you were going to get caught doing. So we had direct TV and I had the remote in my hand. And I was in the I don't know, 900s, wherever the damn Playboy channel was, Spice channel, all that shit. And I
that's
was like,
yeah, you're right. That's in like the thousands, isn't it? Like
yeah, it's deep.
not to be found.
It's not to be
Channel
found.
1699 or
You have
something.
to really try. You have to try.
Right.
We're not thinking that, like, our brains aren't fully developed. Our frontal lobe is still fucked up. It's still cooking. We're not
No.
ready, right?
Right.
So I do this thing. I did this thing where you see how far you can get. You just kind of toe the edge of disaster just to, for the thrill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm going to go to buy and not do it.
And
Click.
whoop,
I did it.
whoop.
Thank you for your purchase.
I'll
3.99.
I'll figure something out.
Now I got to come up with a story. Something that really, really, really is able to. I got to sell them on this. One, how I ended up all the way the fuck over there.
Yeah.
And two, how I slipped and fell onto the OK button twice, hit the arrow down once, and then confirmed that yes, I did in fact want to make that purchase.
Right. I accidentally followed these 7 steps to purchase this.
I slipped and fell, man, and I did everything required to, like you said, go through all 7 steps of making a sound, solid purchasing decision twice, 2 different channels, 2 different shows. Yep. Your parents are way smarter than you at that point,
Mm-hmm.
especially, oh man, my dad, I'm sure a pops is actually proud. On a primal level, he's proud of you. Now
Right.
you,
In the bedroom. In the
yeah,
bedroom
you
talking
have
to a
arrived.
mom. Yeah.
Yeah, you're curious and you're doing what I clearly did. We had magazines and pinups and shit like that, posters, all that shit. This is it. So here we are now. The thing is, you thought you was slick and you thought that I was stupid, and now I'm pissed because of that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a big deal. I sweat way more than he did, but boy, I definitely did, bro. The bullshit ass channels twice.
So
One sitting.
what was the outcome? I mean, did you just get a stern talking to,
It
or
was
did you
just
get
a
your ass
stern
beat?
talking to.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get my ass beat this time. Yeah, I didn't get balled up, man, because I think that it was that moment.
Yeah.
I kind of foisted that moment upon him, but it was that moment. It was like that. I'm interested in the birds and the bees. Can we sit down and discuss? I don't know. Like, it happens in movies that way. It don't
Mm-hmm.
happen in life that way. No, you do some dumb shit or some shit that's like, it's next level. And then, your parents, I guess, realize, okay, he's at that level now.
Right.
This is where his head is. I guess we used to casually talk about all kind of shit anyway, just talking shit at like just at the table. So it really wasn't a need to have an isolated moment.
Mm-hmm.
We always used to just talk about shit out in the open like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
like them talking all crazy like adults do in front of us. We sitting there chilling. Mom is like, Mark, and we're sitting there like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't a big deal. He was just like, don't do this shit no more.
That
All
would have
right.
that would have been a problem for us. I'm not
Mhm.
sure how my father would have handled it, but yeah, that certainly would have been a problem. Um,
It was probably the. Do you think that? he used to always say this. I just we just talked on the phone about it. Anything that you could possibly think about doing, I done already done. Anything you could possibly think about doing. I'm thinking of world travel and all that. But I'm like, I understand what you mean. I get the yeah, I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
Yes. Cause I'm gonna say the same shit to my to my youngin. Like, look, man, anything you could think about doing, because if you have a blanket statement like that, it probably mitigates the disasters. It's like, well, anything I could think of doing, his mind only goes so far. His like imagination at that time only goes so far. He's only experienced so much, or she. It's
Hmm.
like to the extent of what they think that they can get away with, they can't because I done already said anything.
Man, I don't know the way kids are so grown now. Just a
Man,
different time.
I
They've
know.
they've they've been the door has been open to this realm of possibilities that we didn't have.
Yeah.
It's just it's just everything's moving faster and faster and faster, and you're inundated with more and more and more information. I don't know. By the time kids are like 8, acting like they're 32, and what they're what they're dreaming of, what they want to experience is totally different than it was for us. You're right. We did have limited possibilities, but I guess that's just the way it goes. And when they have kids, it'll be even. I don't know,
Have
man.
you, man? I've been thinking about this, and I'm sure you have. Clearly have. I'm thinking of what it would take to raise decent human beings today.
Well, that's
It's not a thing. It's like challenge accepted for sure. Like I'll rise to any occasion, but I'm just wondering what it's going to take because I think that early on, like it's got to happen early. You got to lay down the tracks early.
yeah. It's to go back to what you said about the coyote and exerting your dominance. Whatever
Yeah,
you gotta let them know. Like here's what's about to happen. You're not gonna come over here and attack me. Now, not you don't apply that same principles here or actions in this scenario, but yeah, you got to start on them young. I think you just gotta. And man, there needs to be a fine line between right and wrong. I know that sounds overly simplistic, but you got to let them know that you have their back. This is right. This is wrong. That's it.
and it's like you got to let them make mistakes, but it's certain mistakes I don't think that people necessarily need to make at all. Learn from other people's fucking mistakes. Like I've gotten so far observing,
Yeah.
listening, and just going, yeah, I'm not about to do what he just did ever. And then other mistakes I make. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you've got to do and learn for yourself. And then the other wisdom, like you just soak up game, just soak it up. Be a sponge, soak up that game. You don't have to experience it that way, the same way that they did. They did that for you. You didn't know it, but understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you don't have to always headbutt the corner of the barn. You
Hmm.
can see that guy bleeding over there. He already did the shit. He already tried it.
Right. Right.
You know? So just be aware. Increase your awareness.
Sure.
Um, and I think that you're
That's.
right. It's just early in the game, they know. Because I carry my parents, I carry my family around wherever I go.
Mm.
Um, if that makes any sense, is like,
No, I do the same thing. Hey,
you know,
we're a product of the way we were raised.
yeah.
I just yeah, I got a lot of what my mom. You just see, you what your experience was and the things you know, the things they gifted you, whether it be morals, examples, whatever it is. But yeah, you carry that and apply that to your everyday.
Mm,
My mom's not here anymore, but I certainly still uh, I feel her just in the way I approach things, the way I think
mhm.
about things, the way I might treat somebody or react in a certain situation. And the same with my father, you know, but you're a product of your parents. That's why it is important. Yeah. But encouragement for sure. I think that you see, I don't want to pass any judgment because I have a kid on the way. You know, I've not been a parent,
And
so I can't.
congratulations, man.
I
Like that makes
appreciate
my
that.
day to just hear that, man. Everybody around me's reproducing out this mug.
Yeah,
It's beautiful, man.
I appreciate that.
I'm taking notes.
I can't I can't speak to actively being a parent until she's here on the scene. But
She.
what I observe, yeah, yep, yeah, she's my nameless queen right now.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's that's a dope name.
yeah.
A queen, nonetheless.
hmm
Nameless queen. Absolutely.
But um, I just see sometimes there seems to be like a negotiation going on between parents and children,
Yeah. They think
which
that they have an equal seat at the table of their own affairs.
right,
You don't
right, and
have any
that's
fucking power, but I can show you how to get it on your own outside of
right,
this kingdom, my kingdom. Outside of this, you can be as powerful as you want to be, but understand that you won't necessarily get there if you don't understand how the system works.
right, right. No, yeah, that's precisely it. I mean, you're right. This idea that we're on the same level, um, you have an equal seat at the table. That's right, and this negotiation that goes on. So they have this idea that they can wield some kind of power and manipulate whatever situation it is, and then the parent feels like, well, I love them so much, so I don't want to come down on them for the way they're acting, or I want to respect their emotional state, or whatever it is. But it, it just leads to this entitlement and these I was talking to my brother the other day, and he's like, how often do you see uh like a single mom at a Target or something with 4 or 5 kids, like just calm, just with her, roaming the store, doing whatever. He's like, you don't really see that anymore. You see like kids running around. You see like kids just acting up or screaming or crying, and the mom's trying to talk them down. It's like, man, there's got to be some kind of discipline going on. But
And from one, what you're also
you can
seeing,
you can love your children, but you can still uh, make it quite clear that you know I'm here for you. I will raise you. I will love you. But yeah, you don't have an equal seat at the table.
and
No,
that's also how life
not for a
goes.
long time. Yeah, yeah, because the kid, you know, they hit the real world and realize that nobody cares. Nobody cares how you feel. Nobody cares that you're upset about this thing or you didn't get this thing that you've been getting since you were one. You know, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. This is what it is, and life's hard.
They have to get accustomed to know. I got so used to know. I'll think about it, maybe, but in my brain, there was probably not. And it's not that I went without,
Mm,
but I had to earn my keep in every way. I had to conduct myself in a way that was worthy of whatever it was that I wanted to get
mm-hmm.
out of the situation or, for Christmas, whatever,
Which
whatever it
makes sense.
was. Like driving privileges, a cell phone. Like I was surrounded by kids who had phones and shit and didn't need them. And I didn't get one until I needed one. Like that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
when you instill in someone who's young this this innate humility, like, okay, I have to work for this, whatever it might be. I have to behave in a way that makes someone want to do something for me.
Mm-hmm.
That changes everything. Because if you conduct yourself in life the same kind of way, that makes you a hell of a salesman.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you, that gets you so much closer to understanding the art of the pitch. And everything in this life, so many of these things are about the art of the pitch. Are you going to buy what I'm selling you? Yes. Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
That no that you got ready, just loaded up in the chamber, ready to fire off at my fucking forehead, it's going to get turned into a yes somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality. That doesn't always happen, but that's the mentality that'll get you so much closer to that yes. I'm telling you, than expecting the yes and getting the no. Because if you expect the yes and get the no, you never learn how to tailor your approach. You
Right.
never learn how to use neurolinguistic programming, or you never learn the art of communication. You never learn how to mood match to get to where someone's level is currently,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can ease the transition of ideas and commerce. You never learn those skills. I had to learn so many skills. I had to learn so many different ways to get to a hopefully a yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was interrogated for everything. So I started to interrogate my own decision making.
Mm-hmm.
So you just run it through your parents' filter, you know, all of the questions like, look, can I go over Chris Perry's house? Shout out to Chris. They're getting together, they're doing this. Who's gonna be there?
Right.
So I learned early on how to vet.
Mm-hmm.
How to vet. You know what I'm saying? My dad's just taking a survey of the land. What's the environment like? Are you aware? You need to be aware. This is what's going to be required if you are to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this can happen, that can happen, this can happen. Consequences. He was always worst case scenario.
Yeah, and that stuff is invaluable, man.
It'll keep you alive. Like he always made it clear. Because parents today, back to your point, is to be their child's friend.
Yeah.
And my dad used to always tell me, my mom and dad, especially my dad, used to be, I ain't here to be your friend. That ain't my job. I'm here to keep you alive, black man.
Right.
Like I am here to make sure that you are way better than me, like a better version, like not even a version of me, but just the best you that you can possibly be. That's my responsibility. And I
Yeah,
know
like
that I come down hard on you sometimes, and you don't always get your way, but that isn't what this life is about either. It's about finding your way, finding a way to get shit done. But you can't do that if you always get what you ask for and want. You got to work. You,
yeah, it's probably the number one role of being a parent is being a conduit to a better life for your, child. So yeah, instilling those types of things. And hard work seems to get overlooked all the time. All the time. People don't speak of it enough. It's about like handing out the participation trophies and stuff. I know that that's been
man,
beat to death, but as an example, that's sort of stuff just welcoming somebody in, or making them part of something, and then giving them an award just to make them feel good, where no, it's
you
hard
know
work,
that's
man.
fucking
Hard.
debilitating, man.
It is.
Giving a
It
motherfucker a
is.
trophy who didn't, with their skill set, earn it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because they're gonna always expect that bitch ass trophy right there, and
Yeah.
they didn't cultivate any kind of skills by which to possibly. It'll mean so much more to them acquiring some hardware like that, like getting some hardware like that, if they actually worked as hard as they could
Right.
to build the skill set needed to best their opponent and then get that damn trophy. Take that trophy. It's one thing to receive a trophy, but to take one, that's what we did. We had to
Mm-hmm.
go and take that shit. We had to go and
Which
get it.
which is the way it should be. And when you you're not equipping them with the proper tool set for life if you just handing them things. It needs to be worked for. It needs to be earned. It needs to be taken. Yeah, you go and take that thing, whatever it is. Yeah, I was going somewhere with that, but
Because when you fail enough in that pursuit,
yeah.
that's when you get so good
Uh-huh.
at not failing anymore. You'll fail in new
Right.
ways, but all along the way are the level ups required to not fail the same way. Fail up,
Mm-hmm.
upward. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because in that, you're still climbing, you're still growing,
Mm-hmm.
and you will get closer to getting that trophy. And I'm telling you, I used to wear a T-shirt on my football team. We had this saying, and it was on the black of the shirt, on the back of the shirt. The journey is the reward.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the destination. It's not about what you thought you wanted at that moment in your life. It's about everything that you did to get there, the people you met, the places you've been, the things that you had to do
Mm-hmm.
to get to that point, to get to what you thought was the destination. Realizing I I always had this mentality, and I have it now. Um, when I climb up any mountain and I get to the summit, it's the base of the next fucking mountain. It's just endless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel when I get something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, got a new whip the other day, and then to me, hell, it took a few days to even smile about it because I was just thinking about the work. I was just thinking about the work that I had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The moment you achieve something, just the new mountain range pops up. So I just ascend to the bottom of a new mountain, and that's how it should be. And I don't take that back from, like, I think about, like, I look back at the struggles and the turmoil, and I don't know how I'm here today, but I'm here, and that's the point. You're here, and you got to look back and understand. Like, back to Currency's quote: "If I wouldn't have been that, then I wouldn't be this."
Right.
All of that was, all of that was needed, necessary. Because nothing, like, what makes a diamond? What creates a diamond?
Pressure.
Pressure, time, heat.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what makes a fucking diamond.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
man.
that's
And
it.
and 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 hard work has never failed. Never failed.
No, because you,
There's never been a single case where that's failed. Maybe maybe you didn't get to where you thought you might, but the things that you learned, like, to speak to what you just said, it's the journey. It's the invaluable things you pick up on the way. Like, I just know that working corporate jobs or something, working with somebody who has 1,000 questions, won't seek out an answer to their questions. They just ask you to give them the answer. And there's so much hand holding that goes on. Those people don't last. They get
mm,
fired. They're not used to problem solving and really putting in the work, figuring things out for themselves, and trying to do as much as they can to learn other things to avoid the questioning going forward. Those people don't last. And
there's a book. There's a book that I finished a couple of months ago. It's called Range, Range, Range,
okay.
by David Epstein, and it's due in large part, like, it's about that. It's about actually having range, the benefit in being a generalist in life versus being a specialist,
Mm,
and how a specialist has to one, depend upon past experiences, and they tend to only be able to draw from that alone, and thus they can't adjust very well. This isn't all of them, but a lot of them can't adjust well to variables,
mm,
a domain that may change before they had equipped themselves to understand or adapt to the new one,
mm,
versus someone who, like an Andy Roddick or something. Like, yeah, he's a tennis superstar legend, but he started playing soccer first, and he was a wrestler, and he was this, he played football and that, before he finally circled back around in life to what became his true love and his passion, and that was tennis.
mm,
So you better believe that he's wrestling when he's on the tennis court. You better believe he's doing footwork drills, like he's playing soccer, when he's moving his body on
mm,
the tennis court in a way that someone who only did tennis every moment of their lives, had all the best coaches, had all of the resources financially, because that tends to be, with the exception of, like, the Williams sisters, that's more of a prestigious kind of sport where you gotta have loot. Figure skating, like you gotta have money.
Yeah,
Eh,
what? Not to get off track, but why is that? Why is tennis expensive? You need a racket.
I don't know, man.
I guess maybe because the courts are
The
only
clubs,
on, yeah, in
because it's
clubs
a
or something.
club. Yeah, it's probably that. Like the shit tends to be at like
That
the Four
seems like,
Seasons.
yeah, it seems like outside of basketball, maybe that would be the cheapest. You need tennis shoes and a racket, and
Hey,
then
man, I'm telling you, look at where tennis courts be. By
right, right,
places you ain't really trying to kick it.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Brentwood, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Various places like that, just they tend to be like these tennis courts, like the good schools have the tennis courts. You know what I'm saying? Like your preparatory academies and shit like that. They do tennis.
hmm,
You know, I guess because other than that, you have a wristband, which you
mm,
don't need because I mean, you know what I'm saying? They
right.
got wristbands and shit, and then a little skirt, and then that's it. A little ball cap.
There's nothing worse than watching people who are garbage tennis players play tennis. And I say that as, yeah, I've attempted to play tennis maybe twice in my life, but when you see them at the parks and they're just like lobbing it up, it does make you appreciate Roger Federer or all the pros,
Oh
Venus, Serena,
man,
whatever, what they could do, because you see what happens with regular people, completely unskilled, but they're taking it serious and they're running back and forth, but they keep, like, how dull is it when you keep serving and you keep hitting the net? Like,
yo,
you can't actually play the game because you're so bad. You
you
just
can't
keep
play the
hitting the net.
game. Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean that's how I felt, man, about volleyball sometimes, man. Like,
But
you know,
that
when
one,
someone throws like they try to throw an ace, like spike that shit down, and
uh-huh.
then I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm doing this, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then this is
It goes 20 yards in the
it.
wrong
It's a
direction.
fireball flying at your face, and you're like, oh my god, and then you're like, all right, they do it. Misty May, Misty May be like, and
Yeah.
but sometimes she dives and just throws a fist out there, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's bouncing off. When you think about it, they can in a moment's like in an instant judge the rotation of their wrist, the angle of their wrist, the blade of their wrist, because the
Yeah.
ball is bouncing off of that. It looks like,
Yeah.
but with me, I'm like up, boom, and it's going this way, boom, or it's
All
going that
you're
way.
trying to do is make contact. You're not reading shit. You're
I'm not
just
reading
trying
the
to.
damn thing. I'm trying not to drown in the sand, face first, mouth first, and then I'm just trying to hit the ball,
Right.
which is a challenge.
Knowing all well when you do make contact, that's going like 20 yards in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
energy cost is just
Right.
depressing. I dove and then I had to
Right.
lift my
Just look at
body
yeah.
off of the sand, and it's sand.
Right.
Respect. And
But you're
I
right.
met Misty May and them, and I was like, y'all, respect, because this shit is not easy. Y'all make it look so easy.
Yeah, you're right. I've never dissected it like that, but the idea that in a millisecond they're adjusting their wrists, their arm, whatever it
Subtly.
is, yeah, to coincide with the rotation of the ball and the speed and where they want to go. Maybe they just, because when they do that, they're always trying to they got to set up the partner too. So
Mhm.
it's like, wow, there is a lot that goes into it that I didn't take into account. I never really
Martial
thought
arts,
about
martial arts
volleyball.
gets you thinking about everything
Wow.
like that. Yeah. Kung Fu, because it's that
Yeah.
attention to detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a as would you call yourself, nah, you wouldn't call yourself, but you've been in the martial arts game for some time. I was
Mhm.
going to call you an expert, but you probably wouldn't accept that title, or maybe you would. I don't know. You a martial
Not
arts
not
expert?
an expert.
Not
Martial artist, not an
because
expert.
you stay a student of the game.
Your
But
whole life.
how painful is it for you to watch two dudes brawl who can't fight?
It's entertaining.
it's entertaining, but it's
but
rough at the same time. It's cringeworthy. Like,
it's
oh,
rough, man.
he can't even throw a punch, let alone fight.
I'm like, man, he looks like the wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man at the used car dealership.
As most guys that can't fight, like, I'd like to. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a martial artist, but I like to think that I could at least throw punches. I got a bag in the garage, not kicks, not kicks. That those I keep to myself. But I
Now,
like to
hey,
think I could at least throw punches. But
hey, a kick can get places a punch can sometimes, man. You know.
my hips, I got the hips of like a 82-year-old from playing hockey and stuff, and it's just
Mm,
like, yeah,
having to push off.
yeah, it's no bueno.
You got to open them up. That's
Yeah,
important anyway, just as a human. Like as you get older and you sit
mm,
often, right?
yeah,
You need to really work on your flexibility and open your hips because what you do when you sit down is you this is bro science deactivate your hip flexors and shit like that,
mhm,
so that muscle is shortened
mm.
to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
compensate. You know what I'm saying? It,
Kim actually speaks to that quite a bit. The hip flexors and
yep.
how tight you are and stuff. And she's years as a dancer, so
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
one of the most humble human beings.
yeah.
I don't think we've ever talked about. Maybe once, but I didn't even get into it. It's like it seems like something that she's happy to leave back there.
Yeah, she's moved on. Yeah, she was excited to transition from that to acting, and of course now being a mom. But yeah, I mean, we'll just be watching. Like 6 Feet Under, actually, an episode came on with it's like a mini dance sequence for some infomercial or something. It's like, oh yeah, I know, blah 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 blah. I know all these dancers, used to work with them, and so it'll be funny. We'll just be watching anything, and she knows who it was, what they were doing. But yeah, I remember my first date with her. Uh, she was telling me some of the stuff that she had done, and told me she danced for Prince. She went on tour with Prince, and I was like, "Damn, that's awesome!"
She was the real
She,
deal.
yeah, she went. I think maybe I went outside to smoke or something. Either way, I text Troy right away because I know Troy would appreciate that. But I sent the text back to her. so, so then I had
Nightmare
to,
fuel, bro.
right, right, but it
Do you
worked
not
out.
know who I am?
Yeah, so that was awkward for a few minutes there, but got it sorted out, and here we are.
Hey, that's what it's all about, bro. You are great on your feet.
Yeah, she
You're good
used
on
to
the
get it
feet.
in. She used to get it in as a dancer. She worked a lot. She would have done it much longer if she didn't hurt herself.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
Hmm.
lifting weights. She hurt her back, and that pretty much put the old kibosh to dancing. So,
Damn. Okay. I
yup.
didn't realize that. Getting in shape, like she was GI Jane in this mug, lifting weights and shit, doing power cleans for more
Yeah,
power.
yeah. But she's great. She's great. That's my wife. Love her.
Shout out to Kimmy.
Yeah.
Man, that's beautiful. How was she? You guys have been working on this for a minute. Is it a new idea? Was it always in the back of your minds, like, yeah, we want to go on and do this?
What
The
being married?
baby.
Yeah. Um, yeah. We've been working on it for some time.
Okay.
So you know, yeah, we had a lot of shit that we went through, but
Mhm.
again, it makes you appreciate what you got. So here we are, a little girl on the way, healthy as can be. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, man. It was interesting because I think that when we were still fresh, I wanted kids, and I don't think that she wanted kids necessarily, or just even gave it that much thought.
She's a girl, Deedon. She's giving it much thought. Sure. She
but
she she could have told you, and because she has that kind of personality sometimes where she's just like, yeah, I never think about it much, and then they'll just keep going because you really want to get into it.
yeah, well,
She's it's in her biology to think about it.
but well, for, now yeah, she's all in. She's
Well,
excited as could be. She's been excited. She can't wait to have a kid, daughter.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
it's cool,
amazing,
man.
man.
It's
And to
so
be able to
cool.
grow up with the kid, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you don't want to be the washed dad, like the washed up dad that can't even. His athleticism was toast.
Well,
He's got,
that's most of the parents out here.
bro.
People don't start having kids until they're you know 40s,
That's
50s.
interesting.
Sometimes
I
you see
think
that.
about that, man. I don't want to be that washed up. I am not, bro. I need to be able to foul the fuck out of my kid to show him the way. Like this is how life goes. Hack.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
You have to respond to that. It's how you get up, son.
right.
I need to knock that little nigga down, man, repeatedly. That way he
Yeah.
learns he needs to get up way more times than he got knocked down.
Oh, you see, yeah, you're right. But you see some of the oldest parents out here. You just see like this. You think it's a grandfather sometimes. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's my kid. Like, damn, really?
Hey, they get wrapped up in that hamster wheel life, and they have to make sure everything is accounted for and everything's perfect and nothing's ever perfect ever, and it's never the right time.
Right.
But they try to get as much together as possible before they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then by that time, it's like, boy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can't even stop this little rascal. Like, there's nothing you could do to control this cat. You have no powers no more, no
No.
skills, no strength. All you got is,
You'd be in a wheelchair when he's just this rambunctious, like
yeah.
wide-eyed 18-year-old ready to raise hell. You can't do nothing.
Bro, walking straight over parents at 13, at 12. No, I need to be able to toss you like a bag of potatoes. I need to
Right.
be able to fling you over there like a hacky sack. You know what I'm saying? If need be. You know what I'm saying? I need to give you the bacon neck shirt collar if
Right.
need be. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
need to ball you up, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I need to, this is the alpha male right here. Here's the pecking orders right here. You're down there in this rung right here. Be a kid. All right, this is a grown folks conversation. This is
Right.
all shit I've heard.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Coming up, man. Yeah, like you gotta be able to ball them up. That way they
Yeah.
have that healthy fear of you.
Right.
That's called respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. Like, yeah, my dad can house me and he houses me.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
You're right, man. But it's also interesting that if you would have asked me, so I'm 33, I guess. I've,
Allegedly.
I've reached that. Yeah, I've reached that point where it takes time.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
care anymore about the number that I am. I
right.
stopped a long time ago giving a shit. I was like, yeah, I mean, per the earth, I'm 33. I've been around it 33 times, and I
Yeah.
feel the same. I feel good.
But if you would have told the 21-year-old Deedon, hey, when you're 33, you'll be married with a kid on the way, then like, man, whatever.
Your
You
hair
don't know
down to
what
your
you're talking.
kneecaps.
Right, right. You have no idea what you're talking about. But
Oh man.
no, it's funny the way life plays out. And I was just telling you the other day that I'm happy as can be. Just I'm I'm confident in our future, and I'm just excited. I'm just taking it as it comes. You know.
You know that's Wing Chun, right? That's what my Sifu literally says.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just take it as it comes. Like that's our martial art. That's
Bam.
kung fu.
Speak
Life
of.
problems or Wing Chun problems.
Yeah.
One and the same.
How long you been doing that, by the way?
Man, like a few years, 3 years. That's some
That's not
change.
what you started with.
I mean, I had hands, but it wasn't no martial art.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I could put paws to face, but it wasn't no martial art, bro. Compared to what I understand now, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
and no one does.
Mhm.
In that sense, some people are able to put Paul to face a lot more accurately than others, and more often, and they win fights. They win
Yeah.
skirmishes, and then other people, boy, most people, mm, man, like if I knew then what I knew now, hell, I wouldn't even. And this is the weird part about
Just turned into your father.
what? Oh shit, I know, bro. I be saying shit, and I'm like, damn, that was dad. And what's
Yeah.
funny, man, is we have become friends,
Mhm.
listeners, me and my father. It just took my whole life. Like we really could get out of that father son shit.
Mhm.
Um, I've done all the things I've done. He's like, all right, of his success, there's no doubt. Okay, so
Yeah.
now like he's his own person. He like he's doing his thing. He ain't fucking up out here. I'm proud of him. You know what I'm saying? He shouts that from the top of a mountain. Um, we made amends, or it was trying. Like there was a whole lot of not getting along, and me not understanding these concepts of him. Just I'm here to keep you alive. I ain't trying to be the fucking friend. Someday, not now. You're not gonna you're not gonna always understand why I'm doing this, but just know that it is always out of love.
Mhm.
Always out of love. I love you more than life itself. And someday you will understand. These are the some days.
Mhm.
So that's what I was talking about earlier. Like my parents are everywhere I go, and like my family is, because when moments pop up, it's just my dad leading the way, guiding me still. It's just like, damn, that was a dad move, or that was a dad thing to say. So many quotes, infinite quotables, and it's like my parents.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, the older we
It,
get.
it it happens to me every time I'm out. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm my father right now. That's what
Hmm.
just happened.
And
Subconsciously, just became my father.
I'm okay with that. And think about this. So there was a book that I read, and I recommend it. I recommend Range and The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's one of my favorite thinkers.
Bruce
Bruce
Lipton.
Lipton.
Uh,
Essentially,
I think I'm fucking him up with James Lipton, but
yeah, they ain't
totally different men.
way different. So Dr. Bruce Lipton, like essentially, what you choose to believe in can affect you on a cellular level, just on a biological level, because your DNA, this is paraphrased, like your DNA is informed by your environment in a large part. It's waiting for instructions and stimuli. Well, that stimuli comes from what you take in.
Mhm.
And in that, you can affect your ability to heal yourself and do all kinds of interesting, wonderful things as a human organism. And so the subconscious, when a kid is born, like a baby, they're in a certain state. They spend a lot of their time from like age, from when they're a baby to like 8 years old, something like that, 5 years old, in the theta state. That's the most creative state. And that tends to be the state that we find our brain in when we're like taking a shit or in the shower. That's why we come up with brilliant ideas on the throne, or when you're taking a shower or in a hot tub, something like that, because you're maximally relaxed. When you're that relaxed, your muscles are relaxed, your brain reverts to a theta state versus the alpha state or the beta. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Kids, when they're developing their brain, it's just a recorder. That's what your subconscious is. It's just recording. It's nothing they can do. They're just recording, especially in that moment, in that phase of their lives, in that window. It's a finite, small window. That's what's important about young parents, um, that I've been picking up, is that the kids are literally human tape recorders.
Mhm.
They're recording behavior, thought patterns, as they're forming their own neural pathways and grooves in their brain, by which to determine how they can use their brain power to interact with their world and their environment.
And there's no other time that you learn in
Like
that way,
that
right? Like you absorb more information at that time than any other point in your life,
in your
right?
whole life,
Yeah.
way more. It's super learning, it's hyper learning. And that's why, like kids, it's hard for me to learn hella languages right now. I can, but it's going to take, I'm a sweat some. I'm a
Mhm.
sweat.
Yeah.
But a kid, it's no sweat to pick up the martial arts easily, because they don't have egos and shit. To pick up anything, instruments, they can learn 5 different instruments. They can learn multiple languages. They can do it all with relative ease and compartmentalize because they have plasticity. They haven't worn any grooves into their heads.
Mm.
A certain way of thinking. It's very malleable. It's nothing concrete. But you want to instill these values, these norms, these kinds of beliefs and things like that, and ways of moving in a kid while they're recording. Because once that happens, you can't really change the tape easily.
Mm-hmm.
You can add new information, but that tape, that's subconscious, that's the foundation upon which you do everything, everything until the end. And it's just, now I think about that, this is the result of everything that we ever recorded as babies, as offspring, just little bitty guys, little bitty girls.
Yeah,
And
it's
that,
interesting.
and I be telling my homie all the time, who have like kids. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just look out. I'm not telling them how to parent, but I'm just reminding them that their kids are just recording.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my way of not trying to overstep and tell them how to do. I'm like, I ain't got no kids, but I do know that they're just recording. And I don't want anyone to have to untangle these iPod damn earbuds here. It's just a tangled mess because they just were willy-nilly with the way that they communicated or like exposed them to,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't undo it. That's just the permanent nature of that subconscious. you
That's
know
that's a lot to think about.
that's why I recommended that book. Yeah,
What is it?
I was
It's
like,
called. It's called Biology of Belief.
Biology of Belief. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
narrated by him too. So he has a nice soothing voice and everything, man. He's a powerful, powerful mind. Very fascinating.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. And I've been picking up so many books during quarantine and just all types of shit. So yeah, I'll add those two to the list. But
Mhm.
I guess that's why well, naturally you want to give your kids something to do and something to stay busy or something to learn. But that is why you would do it at that time. Like, here, learn the drums and take Spanish. And
Mhm.
because by the time you're, 25, 30 even, it's like, to do those things you can, but it's going to take a lot more work.
A lot more work. And in that time, again, circling back to the other book, and I'll send this to you, Range by David Epstein. When your kid is doing a bunch of different shit in different domains, different realms entirely, and they're learning how to do all of it, what they're learning how to do is learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah.
can master learning, you can pick up any fucking thing. And Sifu teaches me this too. He's teaching me how to learn martial arts. So that if I had an interest in Muay Thai, I could pick that up no problem easily. If I wanted to dabble in boxing and add that to my martial art, which I do, it's no problem because I understand the concepts of movement and awareness and range, distance. You know what I'm saying? Countering, angles. I understand that already. I'm learning how to learn and how to train as well, how to train. And so back to range real quick. When your kids learning all these different things, they're learning how to learn, and then they're learning how to solve problems creatively. Some specialists, a person who only learned or went down a certain path, like a chess master who raised little chess masters, they only know chess.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a certain number, like it's only a certain possibility, like a certain number of patterns and a way that things go. Because people only think of certain ways to move about chess and do chess and play that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, take those chess players out of that domain that they dominate and put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to be the same result whatsoever. They might be garbage at whatever they're doing next.
Right.
Can't play chess here. Rules are different. Those rules are fixed. The outcome is more certain in your room that you dominate. But when your kid's doing violin, playing video games, hand eye, also doing martial arts, there are so many. So what happens? So this is the visual. You have someone who is a specialist, they have a deep knowledge. So they've worn this deep trench, this trench of information. they're digging to see how much of this they can understand. It's the same shit, but how deeply can I understand it? That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you'll come across a problem that you can't solve and it's in your domain, but the answer might not be. The
Mm-hmm.
solution might not be in your domain, in that discipline. But if you were interdisciplinary, you might be able to draw from an experience that could have come from left field. Like, you know what? I was a firefighter for a little bit and I was a chemistry major. Maybe I could solve this problem here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're digging so deep and your trench is so high, this way, that way, you can't just peer over the top to see the answer on the other side. It could be right over here or right over here. Damn sure it in there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important about those the infancy, of a kid and making sure that they're recording some dope shit, recording some good habits and behaviors and curiosities, instead of
Mm-hmm.
shutting the door on them all the time. Nope. Stay in the kid's place, stay in the child's place, do. That too, because that's discipline in general. They need that. But from there, you need some different kinds of bricks, different textures, shapes,
Sure.
you know. So range,
Hey,
I'm gonna send those books over to you.
range is an actor. I
Yeah.
mean, nobody
Mhm.
likes anyone that's one note. You know,
Oh man, and there's so
you gotta
many.
you gotta dig in, dissect. I mean, there's so many different individuals in this world. I mean, there's a lot of work to put in. But
To that point, yeah. A lot of actors have zero to draw from. Like they were just given the resources. They were able to go to Uta Hagen, you
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And learn from her specifically and directly, or Alan Fine, whoever it was gonna be. They ain't gone through shit. Trust fund baby, maybe. Or parent was an actor, had loot, so they wanted to follow in their footsteps, but they haven't encountered anything, any kind of adversity for real. But they're here. But there comes a moment when they get exposed because they have this audition and they have this scene and this character lived a certain life. And for the life of them, they can't channel that.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere in them, in their spirit, in their soul, in their repository of experience in life, can they draw upon the powers to make that seem like a slice of life because it was never a slice of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you've been through it all, like you've been through a shit ton, I've been through a shit ton, go through a lot, it's easy
Hey,
in that sense.
take a take a bus around town.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a
Leave
lot to.
leave leave the Palisades
Yeah.
and go to Skid Row. Spend a
Mm-hmm.
little time down there. Go to Mission. The Mission joint on I want to say 6th Street, like San Pedro. Go
Yeah.
there. Work at the soup kitchen.
Yeah. I volunteered up there a couple times, which they whoever was running that left or something. I
Mm.
tried to get in touch, but yeah. You see, you see a lot. You see a
Hmm.
lot of plight for sure.
And then when that character comes about, you're like, oh, I know about that
Mm-hmm.
some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Or you have to play an insane person. Well, I know someone whose mother was is actually clinically insane, and we've had conversations for years. So I can see how I can make that happen. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, inject a few demons of your own in that, and then you got a struggle souffle. you
Yeah, you
know?
sure do.
Yeah, man.
Well, shoot. There's a there's a fight night tonight. You watching any of
Yo,
that or what?
is there a fight? Who's fighting tonight, brother? I wasn't sure. I knew that Cormier and Stipe were fighting next week. I didn't know who was
Yeah.
fighting this week. Who's fighting?
Main
A-
event is
And did you see Brunson?
no.
Did you see what he did to Ed Shabazian?
Oh, I did. I did. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Was it
my.
that was last weekend, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Fight Island and
Yeah.
oh my
He
gosh,
almost
these
he
quarantine
almost
fights have been the greatest.
yeah. No,
I don't
it
want a
kind of
crowd.
it is cool to hear him
I
and
don't want a
hear
crowd
everybody.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a crowd.
But yeah, he almost killed that man,
He
didn't
almost took his life.
he? Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was,
that was not a quick stoppage there. It should have been, but
yo, poor Herb Dean. He's damned if he do, and
I know.
he's damned if he don't, because you know fighters love refs that let them fight and
Uh-huh.
let them fight themselves out of a shitty situation.
Hmm.
That's what being a warrior is about. But the moment he doesn't, or the moment he does that, and it just they just decide, they just go, "Hey, that could have been stopped sooner." Of course, it could have.
Well, that one in particular. I mean,
Yeah, he shouldn't have came out this
he
next
showed
round.
he showed no signs of life there. And so there was no fighting your way out of that situation. But
No, and then I was hoping that they wouldn't let him come back into the ring, the octagon, and it went ding, and I was like, "No ding, no ding. That shouldn't be a ding. It should be one of these. It's
right,
over."
right.
It was crazy. He walked back out there, and you could see it in his face. He was wearing his non-desire to fight. He was like, "Fuck." I was like, "Man, call that."
So to run it down, let's see. Main event is Derek Lewis and Alexei Olenek.
Oh yes, okay, okay.
Alexei Olenek's fought like 900 times, man.
Yeah, man.
His brain's got to be mush, right? Hopefully
And
not. But
he's got that 900 times energy too. He's like, I'll find whoever they put in front of me, bro. Whoever they put in front of me, I'll smash them. Smash them.
who do you got in that one?
You know what, man? Derek's my boy. I like Derek. But man, I just watched Alexei Olenek tie somebody up into a balloon animal. There's the difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Alexei can knock you the fuck out.
Well, Derek Lewis is just a bruiser.
He's just
That's
he's
what it is.
just a bruiser.
Yeah.
And so Derek, in desperation, if he's struggling on the feet, he's going to try to get him out of there, and he's going to slip right up under there and get all of that, then take him to the ground. And Derek is useless on the ground, man. He can, his takedown defense, he can shake you off a little bit, but that's going to wear his cardio out, man. And then if he gets taken down with worn down cardio, he can't explode anymore,
Mm,
and he's going to get strangled.
hmm.
So I think that like Olenek, he's renowned for his ground game. He's just going to strangle him. I don't want it to happen. I hope Derek catches him, but he's going to have to do that. It's
Yeah,
going to have,
I'm
you know.
going Olenek in that one.
Yeah, I think that he's just going to do that. He has a more
Right
rounded
with
skill
you.
set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't have learned that much and become that much more dope on the ground in that frame of time
Hmm.
to be able to do anything to somebody who's made a career in strangling dudes like Alexi.
Hmm.
Plus, he has hands. So he's going to occupy your mind up top. He's going to get you defending up top. You're going to be like, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? And then he's going to be like, huh, whoo,
Yeah.
on the ground real quick. He's going to do an inside trick, get him on the floor or a single leg, something like that. And it's just going to be a wrap. Or
Uh,
it'll be a long ass, boring ass fight of him getting just just beat
yeah.
on the ground.
Chris Weidman is fighting too. I haven't seen him in a while.
Well, it's been a minute, but he's been knocked out like 6 times in a row. He needs to
I
actually.
know, man. He started off. He was on a nice little streak there, and then once he lost, he's kept losing. It seems
Yeah, man. I don't know what to.
he's fighting Omari Akhmedov. Akhmedev. Akhmedov. I don't know. I don't know
Ag-
who that is.
Agamagadov.
No.
It sounds Chechnyan or Dagestani, and therefore deadly dangerous.
Right. Right.
You,
I'm sure he is.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably got a wrestling
Well, that's a
background.
different. That's a different. Isn't that just a different world?
It's a whole different world of
Speaking of
fighting.
time and pressure and adversity, all that.
Exactly.
Like
That's a hard existence, period, as a human.
right,
And so for them to get paid to beat up people, that's luxury.
right.
They're like, this is, bro, that dude from last week who beat up 2 dudes at Fight Island in one go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kimaev,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The Chechen dude.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up that dude like he was a baby
Yeah.
and beat him to death quickly. After he beat another dude to death quickly on Fight Island, the same like within 10 days. He destroyed two world class fighters, 2 days.
Yeah.
He's from Chechnya. It's a hard place. They probably like they're actual warriors, like them cats from the Caucasus Mountain regions and shit, like the mountain Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, they're just totally different people.
Zabit,
Yeah. Uh,
Nagamasharipov. My
look at
gosh,
look at that strange looking individual, man. He looks like
he's an Abraham Lincoln.
a
If he's Abraham Lincoln the ninja.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's weird about him is his cardio kind of sucks.
Really?
Watch him fight Kyle Bosniak,
Okay.
which is a dope fight. Watch him fight Bosniak. Bosniak's an animal, but Bosniak, he just doesn't have as much firepower. But Zabit be using a bunch of ninja shit, and that's
Mm.
taxing. Explosive shit, he can barely get through three.
I've only
What
seen one of
what is
his
he going to
fights.
do when he's got to go five? If he ever gets he will get a title shot. But man, he doesn't seem to condition himself for 3 rounds. He's just so superior offensively and like defensively to a lot of cats. But in that third round, it's always a level playing field. He'd be struggling
Yeah.
sometimes. Like if he doesn't get him out of there or like submit him or just beat him to death, Bosniak was just pinning them down, just going wham, wham, wham.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And finally the horn blew and it was clear who won. But Bosniak shouldn't have stood a chance.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I've only seen one of Zabit's fights. I think it ended pretty quickly. It's probably
Zabit,
within the last 6 months or so.
his fight IQ is insane. It's just an interesting thing because I've seen it more than once where his cardio, he's a slender, skinny guy, but he does nothing but cartwheel kicks and shit like that. Big move. What Daniel Cormier, what DC would call big actions. He loves that fancy jumping off the wall like Vega from Street Fighter type shit. You know, like you know the wall jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Vega from Street Fighter. Like that's the shit that he likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't just poke at you, poke at you, poke at you. Because who was it? Michael Bisping. He had an interesting point. I think it was him. Um, if you hit somebody with 30 to 40% of your power, eventually they feel all of that all of the time. It doesn't hurt it. Like it doesn't hurt in the beginning, but by round four or round two, round three, everything hurts
Mm-hmm.
because now it's the cumulative effect of damage. Now all of those shots hurt.
Yeah, I can't imagine the next day
Oh man,
for these fighters.
man.
Golly, you just gotta lay out. That's it. Like there's got to be no movement.
You know the worst kind of moment, man, when Grover Teixeira beat to smithereens uh, Anthony Smith.
Mm.
Have you seen that fight?
Mm-mm. No.
Watch that fight. It was one of the most, we're conditioned to watch watch this blood sport and it not be a big deal, but that was hard to watch Anthony take that kind of beating because there was nothing he could possibly do.
Yeah.
No matter how talented Anthony Smith is,
Anthony
Grover,
Smith. He's the one that didn't he fight Bones Jones?
he fought Bones.
Yeah, and got picked apart in that one. But he's
Mhm.
he's he's had a ton of fights, hasn't he?
He has so many fights, man. He's had a lot of fights. He's a smart dude. He's a really nice guy, humble cat. Had some good moments against Bones, but it was clearly decisive who won. You know what I'm saying? But when he fought Grover, it was way worse. He stood a chance against Jones somehow, but Grover was literally beating him up in the corner of the octagon, and you can hear him. He was like, I'm so sorry, brother. It's, it's just doing my job. And then Ant is like this. Hey man, I get it, bro. It's all good. I'm not lying to you. That's I don't want no crowds no more. I don't need to
Yeah.
see those motherfuckers from wherever like wherever in the world they are. Shout out to them for their patronage. I love y'all. I don't
Uh-huh.
need them there drowning out the sounds of a fight of warfare.
So this was recent then. This
Fairly
was a recent.
recent. This
Oh,
is
okay.
quarantine days. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. If I can
Well,
find it, I'm gonna send that to you. Hell yeah. That
okay.
fight was something, man.
Okay.
So who else is fighting tonight? Is that about it? Everything else is small dudes.
Yeah. I mean, those are the names. It's
Okay.
otherwise light because it's. I mean, I don't know. I know enough. I mean, I watch the UFC. I know enough to be conversational, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know these fighters in depth. There's a there's a Maki Patolo and
Okay.
Darren Stewart,
Okay.
and then a couple women fighting. I'm not even gonna take a shot at their name. Looks like a couple Russians. They're probably Dagestani, whatever. I'm not even gonna approach that. And then a Benil Darush and Scott Holtzman.
Daniil Dariush is fighting again.
Yeah,
I'm going for him in that.
yeah.
Yep,
And
he's a monster.
of course, they got their full day of prelims on. I mean, the shit's probably been on since
Like three.
two. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been on
2
for a
o'clock.
while.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Shoot.
Should we call it?
Let's call it, baby boy. Hey,
All
it was
right.
such a pleasure, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Honor and a pleasure to have you on this motherfucker. You guys will be hearing more from this man, Dean Donovan. Where can they find you, bro? If at all.
I mean,
There it
uh,
is.
there it is.
Hey, that's
Cut,
why I named
cut.
that shit what I named it. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you see how it just flows,
yeah.
bro? I
That's
mean,
it. Cut it.
hey, I feel you.
No, I mean, I'm on social media, but not really on social media. You could just Deedon Donovan if you want to take the time to look. But it's been a pleasure, man, and I'll be happy to come back on at some point. Should you extend the invitation?
My brother, this invitation is open. It's
Yeah,
open. You know how we do. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So send Kimmy and the fam my love, man.
will do.
All right.
The world in the seven
Salute.
seas.
Salute.
Louis trunk full of drip, couple pounds of weed. Get me through a few weeks. Met this one freak in the sports bar. Her uniform, booty shorts, and a sports bra. Soon as she clocked out, she
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all need to reach out to me for any reason at all, get on and let's see, open up your email and send something to me at iMeaanpod@gmail.com. I am Monkey D. Travanti on Instagram. Holla at me there. Peace. One love. Y'all stay safe. Be careful. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.